What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are going to be talking about Spintire's MudRunner. Now, just to clarify, the reason why my voice sounds a little bit different is because I'm on a different mic, because I'm actually in Germany right now. As I record this, I'm at Gamescom, which is why this trailer, why I didn't do an analysis of it earlier. But basically, this game is coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One, and I know a lot of people were saying in my comments, like, oh, it's not coming to Xbox One, it's only PlayStation. It's all three systems, like I said, PC, PS4, Xbox One. They're bringing over a lot of vehicles from the original Spintires, but they've all been revamped, all been remastered. The graphics are completely revamped, completely new, and there's so much more stuff here. There's so much more stuff to do. There's 19 vehicles total, I believe, in the base game, and you can see, actually, it's interesting. You've got an upgraded version of, like, the UAZ, for example. You've got both of your 8x8s, and the maps just look a lot more vibrant. The colors look better, the graphics look better, the mud looks better. The mud on the tires looks a little bit weird. I'm not sure where that came into play from. But I'm going to go ahead and run the trailer again. We'll get a little bit more in-depth with it as we go around this second time. Then we're going to go ahead and look at some screenshots from the game itself. Now, firstly, what I wanted to talk about is the fact that this is not a console port and a PC re-release of Spintires. This is a new game. This is actually, like, MudRunner is the title of the game. So it's not Spintires Console Edition or Spintires, like, 1.5. It's an actual new game. And I feel like a lot of people may have mistaken it for being just a, just like, they were like, oh, here's Spintires, but for consoles, and that's about it. That's not what this is. This is a completely new game, and I'm, for one, very excited to see how it plays on console, because I know there was a lot with, with a lot of rumors going around, back even, like, a few months ago that Spintires would never even work on console. I made a video myself saying Spintires would never work on console because I didn't believe that it would, but here is proof that it's actually going to be coming. And I mean, with Focus and Saber now behind the game, it's a really cool idea, the fact that it's actually going to be a thing with consoles. Now, briefly, I am going to go over some of my favorite screenshots that they've shown. Now, really, in these screenshots, the biggest thing that you notice is the overall detail of the textures and the vehicles and things that you wouldn't normally see in the game as it exists right now. This is actually a new vehicle. It's an upgraded UAZ, and I'm really happy for the fact that they've taken things like even the basic UAZ, off-road vehicle, and, really kind of dug into it and upgraded it for this new version of the game. This is what I was talking about in terms of the mud, and I think it does look a little strange if you see the way it's blobbed up on the tire right there. Now, I'm assuming the build of the game right now is not released. I mean, it's going to be a while before it comes out, so that I'm hoping will be fixed, but because it looks really funky and weird and awkward with the mud blobbing up on the tires like that. So hopefully they do fix that, because that's a big part of the game and that's a big part of the graphics here. But everything else looks really good. See, that's just one little weird spot, whereas everything else looks really nice. Now, if you look at this shot in depth, you notice that there's a lot of detail to it. There's a lot of detail to the water. Also the fog. It appears that there's been maybe a bit of a weather change almost. And this really swampy area, it kind of does remind me of the flood map, but in a way it does, but in a way it also doesn't, because there's more trees, there's a little bit more stuff going on. I'm going to assume that the maps in this game will be all new. If not, they'll probably be remastered versions of maps from the current version of the game of Spintires that we can play right now. But that's something we can only speculate on right at the moment. We don't know full details on that yet. Now, to briefly talk about objective-based gameplay, obviously it's going to be here. The loading mechanics are here. That was not going to go away at all, I'm sure. But the only thing that I wouldn't say concerned about, but a little bit curious about, is what they're going to have to do to make it work properly in terms of, say, for example, like if you're playing on a controller, because you're going to be on PlayStation and Xbox, you're going to have to be using a controller for this stuff, and I feel like they may have to simplify it a little bit for controller use, because you can do it with a controller right now on PC, but I'll be honest, like the loading mechanics feel a bit clunky to me. Maybe that's because I haven't done it enough, and more about the fact that I just maybe it's more related to the fact that I just like to drive different vehicles around and I like to use mods and things like that. But regardless, I really do hope they smooth that gameplay out a little bit, especially for consoles, because I feel like console players are going to want that. And now for the big thing that everybody wants to talk about, which is mods, because everybody's going to want to know about that. Everybody wants to, I want to know, I think everybody that plays Spin Tires is going to want to know how mods are going to stand related to this. And I'm sure that they're going to be allowed. I just don't know to what extent, and I don't know how quickly the modders are going to be able to adapt to this new game. I'm sure, we all hope that that's going to happen quickly. Probably the modders themselves, too, are hoping that that's going to be a quick transition, because nobody wants to have to recode a million different things for their mods. And I'm sure it'll be similar to the way the game runs right now, so they probably won't have to do an insane amount. They might, you never know, but I think in the grand scheme of things, they'll probably have a pretty good basis to work with, considering the fact that this is literally Spin Tires just turned up to, 20, you know what I mean? Like, they, turned it up a million notches, from where it was before, so this also means that hopefully we'll be able to have higher quality mods, that we can use in the game, which would be an awesome, awesome thing. So, if you combine a high quality game with even higher quality mods later down the road, that's a hugely winning recipe that I think they have a lot of room and freedom, hopefully, to play with. Now, talking about mods, you have to talk about the fact that this is now a multi-platform game. This is not just a PC game anymore. This is PC, Xbox One, PS4, and I'm sure that, say for example, if you have an Xbox One or you have a PS4, but if you don't necessarily have a PC that's powerful enough to run the game, you're still going to want to be able to play with mods. Now, there have been console games and games on both Xbox One and PS4 that have been able to pull this off, actually have mods on the consoles. So I don't think it's too far-fetched to think that there might be a way for mods to come to the console version later on down the road. There's obviously a lot of processes that the mods would have to go through in order for that to work, but I think that it's possible. I don't think it's something that we can rule out and be like, oh, it's impossible. It's not gonna happen. There's no way mods could come to console. At least for this game. But no, I think there's a very good chance that it could happen. There's a very good chance that they could come to console for this game, and I really hope they do, because there's such a rich modding community for this game. So many really, really good modders that I would hate to see the console people lose out on such a great modding community within Spin Tires. Now, before we wrap up, one thing that I would like to talk about is what does this mean for Spin Tires as it exists right now? Well, I don't think it's going anywhere until this game comes out. And unless this game is way off the mark from what Spin Tires has been or what people expect it to be, I feel like the community, for the most part, will move straight over to this game. And that's what I'm hoping. Two things that I'm hoping happen are that, one, that this game is very, very good, and two, that if it is good, that the community goes ahead and makes the jump to this game. Now, but again, as long as it's good. If it's not good, then the Spin Tires community is a community that's very, they there's a lot of different kind of categories of it, but they all seem to figure out what parts of the game they like, and then they stick to that. And if the new game is not what the community likes, then the community will stick with Spin Tires as it exists right now. But from what I've seen and what I can see on the screen right now, I mean, all the screenshots we've gone over, all the trailer we watched, I think that the community is more than likely, going to move over to MudRunner and hopefully give it a shot. I'm going to give it a shot, and I'm going to see what I think. You guys are going to be seeing so many videos on this game for me, right when it comes out. So I'm very, very excited, extremely. But If you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave it a like. Tell me in the comments down below what y'all thought of it. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time. Talk to y'all later. See you guys next time.